Good afternoon, Panther fans. Welcome to Flying Fluffy Hockey, the number one Panther podcast in the world. Backed by popular demand. One of our good friends of the show, our great friends of the show. Just an awesome guy. Mr. Randy Moller, good afternoon, sir.
Great to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Always my pleasure.
Yeah. We're happy. Even if your picture is frozen right now, we can still hear you. So we'll work whatever tech issues we've got going on. We'll just work through it because we can hear you. That's what matters, especially at our age. You know what I mean? We're good.
Man, what a sunny day here in Florida, boy.
Yeah. It's sunny here too. It's also 33 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind.
We're supposed to get some rain here tonight and all day tomorrow. So I'm glad that the fans had pretty good weather. Actually, great weather for this All-Star week. It's not the All-Star game like it used to be. It's the All-Star week, and there's all kinds of fan interaction and very well attended. The NHL and the Panthers did a marvelous job of not only promoting hockey down here in the Panthers, but the NHL and hockey and our neighborhoods down here, the beaches of Fort Lauderdale and that. I think they really did it, showcasing what we have down here. And I think the fans that have come in from out of town have really, really enjoyed themselves.
Listen, we know the NHL loves South Florida. I mean, every spring you got the GM meetings at the Boca Hotel. I think that's been going on for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the events that stuck out in your mind the last couple of days.
Well, if fans haven't had a chance to go down and that the Fort Lauderdale beach on the strip there, they really activated that and all kinds of fan interaction. You get your picture taken with players, autographs. You get a picture taken with the Stanley Cup. They got all kinds of different stuff going on. And they really put a lot into it, and with the different ones. I was a part of on Wednesday. They had a hockey fest at the Panthers practice facility at the Panther Ice Stand in Coral Springs, and they really did a great job. They had a learn to play. They had a women's hockey game that went on and a showcase, and then they had the alumni game. They had the Florida Panthers alumni playing the NHL alumni, and excuse me, they had really good turnout. Fans loved it. It was the score ended up being 15-11, but Peter Worrell had 3 goals and that. So it was, and Roberto Luongo played forward. That was some of the highlights and that. But it was really well run, and I think I know the players, the alumni, really enjoyed it, and I think the fans enjoyed it too. And then last night, we always have our alumni meetings. Chapter presidents meetings during most of the time during All-Star week, whatever the city it's in. Obviously, we're kind of sidetracked there for a couple of years because of the COVID pandemic, but we had that yesterday morning, early afternoon, and then we put on a charity event. And one of our leaders of our alumni, Kelly Chase, longtime St. Louis Blues, and he's got a company that puts on events. And make a long story short, we had sold tickets, sponsorship, and that for a cruise up and down the Intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale, and left out of Fort Lauderdale and up and down for about 2.5 hours. And it sold out completely immediately. It sold out and with sponsorship and that. And we had Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Chris Chelios, Paul Coffey, and Roberto Luongo. And we did a hot stove, kind of had them all on chairs and doing Q&As, and they were telling stories. And it was a great event and raised money and that. So it was a lot of fun. Kind of feeling it a little bit today, a little tired today. Let's just put it that way, a little tired.
We can't see you, so we got a frozen image.
It was fun, but I'm I gave my tickets away for the skills and the game. I've been to a few of them, and they're fabulous and that. But I just there's a lot of people that come in from out of town, and a lot of alumni, and they brought their wives. A couple guys brought their kids and that. So I kind of just I gave my tickets away. I'm going to watch on TV and kind of take the weekend off because, guys, as you know, we're right back at it Monday at home against Tampa. So so I got to take the weekend off.
Good,
I don't
segue. Go, Eric.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's a couple of what Randy was talking about is actually leads me right into the two. We have two questions from viewers, and they're both actually related. The first question is from Frank. It's a really quick one. And that is, do you think we're ever going to get an outdoor or a stadium series game?
Good question.
I think let me just say, and I don't know, beans about this, but I believe that the NHL has done some research. I think they really got they're a little uneasy when, remember, they had that outdoor game in Lake Tahoe and how warm it was and the ice. The ice. Number one is you got to make sure that the players are safe and have a safe and that. So in saying that, I think that they have explored maybe at Marlin Stadium. I don't know what it's called now, but Marlin Stadium, maybe Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay and that. But it would take. I think it's doable. And I won't be surprised if down the road that we do get one. That would be a lot of fun. And of course, us playing the Panthers playing Tampa Bay would be perfect. So I'd like to see it. That would be a lot of fun. And I think the fans would eat it up as well. And but to do it as well, maybe in conjunction with something else that's going on in South Florida at that time or whatever, and really make it a destination. But I'd love to see it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
Outstanding. So the other question is, again, this is from Dustin, and this kind of still ties in. He says, you've been with the team as a color analyst since 2015, and prior to that, 8 seasons as team's radio. Out of all of those years, what was your defining moment that really solidified that the Florida Panthers are your team and proud to be a part of this organization? Thank you, sir. That's from Dustin.
Well, the audio was a little bit wavy there.
Do
you need me?
Like, you're talking about my career. There's so many. I have such good fortune and work with amazing people, and that I think being named as the first former NHL player full time to do radio play-by-play. I'm still very proud of that. That was a lot of fun. Right. To be able to even up to last year, broadcasting those games with Goldie and our team, and how amazing that season was, and last year in the regular season, and winning the President's Trophy, and breaking offensive records and the comebacks, and how much excitement that was. That was a big thrill to call that last year. It was an amazing year, and obviously this year we're not having that type of success, but I still enjoy every game. Doing it, I get excited before every game, and I just hope that we can get going and really get back in this playoff race. We're probably going to have to go 21-8 the rest of the way to get to 97 points about. So I'm excited about it.
All right, let's see. I'm putting you back on.
Here we go.
Hi, guys. I'm on my phone. I don't know what happened with my my computer, and it is.
Man, your shirt looks so funky, bro.
My what?
Your shirt. Now it's fixed, but you look look, it looks like a referee. He's got the zebra.
Oh, yeah, he's got. All right, well, I appreciate you gutting it out and sticking with us, Randy.
No problem. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my laptop. It's
All
very,
right. So how we left off is we got to go 21-8.
very, very warm. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 12 road games left, and if we play the way we can and the talent that we have, and our best players be the best players, then we're going to make a good run at this, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so are we. I mean, the way I look at it, we got to break it into threes. Like whatever, 10 games at a time, or the first 20 games. I think the first 10 games are going to determine where we're going.
Yeah, and that big homestand that we have coming up too.
Yeah, I mean, we got some really tough games coming up. Definitely didn't make it easy for us.
There's no easy games, and especially at this time of the year, in the last third of the season, the last 30 games or whatever, 28, 29, 30 games that teams are playing, it's tough. There's a lot on the line, and playoff positioning and playoff spots, and that's going to make it for intense hockey, and I love it. I'm still really confident that this team, if they stay healthy, and all the components that are needed to win hockey games are there, that they're in every game, and they can beat any team in any rink. So that's the encouraging part. And no disrespect, we're not talking about the Anaheim Ducks, or the teams that are rebuilding right now, and they're kind of taking their lumps, the Chicago Blackhawks, and that they're rebuilding, and that the Florida Panthers have the ability to win every game, and it's I think they have the right mindset that they're going to need to play playoff hockey, desperation hockey, every game, every minute, every game.
Right. So, I guess this question is it's like a lot of questions kind of rolled up into one simple thing, and in your opinion, what's been the biggest, I guess, change? I mean, for us as fans, we're looking at it like, well, we're not playing run and gun, and we can't even tell, in other words, not saying who to blame for the slow start, because we know there's been injuries and there's been all this turnover and the change and everything. But, the other way, I kind of look at it is like 5 games. Like between Barkov being hurt and all of the injuries, you buy me 5 more wins, and it's a completely different conversation. So just talk about that, because obviously went from President's Trophy now to where we are now, and we're fans, so we get over emotional and everything like that. But I think that did and this is the second part to that question. I'll shut up. But do you think that Maurice had a plan, and then the trade to get Tkachuk, since he's such a different kind of player, that it changed what his original idea was, if you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know about that. And I get asked this all the time, Randy, what's the difference from last year to this year? Well, the game is all about execution. And you go back to last year, guys, and I can't stress it enough. And when I talk to fans and talk to colleagues and other broadcasters and that, everything that the Panthers did last year turned out positive. The breaks that they got, the comebacks, the goals scored, everything went right. And we were living in a fantasy land. It was amazing. And the comebacks, I keep going back to the comebacks, but we had 14 players on the roster that had career offensive years. That's tough to duplicate. I don't care what team you are or what sport you are, to be able to duplicate that is very, very difficult. So when now let's go into this year. I think, a lot is talked about, Paul Maurice, changing the systems and all that. Guys, the systems really haven't changed. They still, when they get the puck, They have all the green lights that you want to be creative and score goals and play at a high level and with the pace and attack and that hasn't changed. Paul Maurice didn't take that away, and that the only thing is they're trying to play a lot more without the puck, be more defensively responsible, and that's with positioning, with commitment, and that kind of stuff. It doesn't change the way they play or the system. There's still the Panthers are still, when they're at their best, they're still running and gunning and that, but they don't want to trade 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s and have to win game 7-6.
Right.
They're trying to play a more manageable game defensively in that. Now, and then this year, as Erica, you brought up, look at how the start. The power play struggled. The penalty killing struggled. You look back on the games that they lost that they should have won. In Arizona, what they have, 97 shot attempts, 55 shots, whatever it was. They lost the game. The game in Chicago, where they just completely dominated. It was 28-5 shots, and after the first period, whatever, it was ridiculous. They didn't win the game. The game in Philadelphia, where they dominated in the shots and they attempted shots and that, and lost the game. And there you go. There's 3 games right there, 6 points. If they had those, they'd be right in the mix right now. Well, in a better mix for a playoff spot. So, are they that off or that much off of where they were last year? As far, I don't think so. I think it's. But as I started to answer this question, it's all about execution, and we've seen how the Panthers, when they went on that, 7-3-2 in 12 games, whatever it was, and they had the hottest power play in the NHL. Their penalty killing was in the top 5. Special teams, guys, dictate a lot of the outcomes in today's NHL. And without strong goaltending, without really good special teams, it's difficult to win in the NHL. And the Panthers have proven that, because they've proven it when things weren't going their way, and they were struggling. And then once they got the power play going and that, there's the offense that you need. You're averaging 4 goals a game. You're going to win the majority of the games. So hopefully that kind of answers the question about what was the difference from last year to this year. Last year we were scoring goals from everywhere, and everybody was scoring, and everybody got the breaks and the bounces and that. This year it's those breaks and bounces and good luck have come and gone. It's an up and down thing. So
well, and plus, I mean, when Bob was playing the best he'd played all year, he gets hurt. When Spencer was playing the best he had all year, he gets hurt. And it just gets to a point where there's just only so many guys you can lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but I'm excited about, hopefully Anthony Duclair. I don't know, guys. I don't know if he'll play on Monday. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. They'll practice on Sunday, and then they'll have a morning skate on Monday. But I think he's close. He looks great in practice, and he's his old self and flying up and down the wing. And that, I mean, you add a 30-goal scorer to your lineman up, and that could be a big difference as well.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear, because a lot of us have been wondering, how does he look? But I have 2 points. You talked about special teams. That was our downfall in the playoffs. And obviously, I think that cost Brunette his job, because whatever it was, 1 for 31 or 0 for 31 with no changes. And then the PK against Tampa. So, we had the dream season. If we had only had our special teams working, things might have come out differently. Now, we talked about this last stretch, the 12-game stretch. What Eric and I noticed is in the early part of the year, in this new dump and chase, we weren't winning the board battles. And during that 12-game stretch, we were practically winning all of the battles. And I think that's what's been a big difference recently. And to me, it all comes down to goaltending. I mean, this kid came out of nowhere. Nobody knew who he was, and I was I was making a joke about it, like the video before, and then the video after. I said, "Well, I didn't know who this kid was, but I certainly know who he is now." But I'm concerned, and I just wanted to see if you had any inside track on Bob and Spencer's situation that you could share with us.
Not really. I think they really wanted to make sure that they had the extra week to get themselves 100%, and so that's why neither of them played. I believe that's what we were told, anyways, that they didn't play on that Friday, Saturday, LA and Boston. They wanted to make sure that they're ready to go, and that. So we'll see. Guys, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out Sunday at practice who's on the ice, who's not on the ice, and then hopefully we'll find out who's going to start on Monday.
Fair enough.
Where do you think Duke slots back in? Do you think you're going to put that top line back together and move Lundell back to 3C, or are you going to warm Duke up, maybe giving him some third line minutes to get his stamina back up?
Are you talking about Duclair?
Yeah.
Anthony Duclair?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you're having trouble hearing me.
Losing connection here and that.
Gotcha.
I think the Panthers will have all kinds of options with Anthony Duclair.
Right.
They got all kinds of options. We'll see.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is looking forward a little bit. Because I've been looking at, next season and the season after that. And I just remember Zito in the press conference when we were introducing Maurice, he was talking about we're going to have some challenges. And, we lost Randy again. All right. So, much like the Florida Panthers season, our interview with Randy has hit technical difficulties, injuries, illnesses. We had to send him down, but he didn't clear waivers, so he got picked up. Choose. It's like a Bally's broadcast. Choose your. It's just not working out. So, we'll get him back on. We'll get him back on, and we'll have to make it another day. Randy did a lot yesterday, and
he's been busy all week. Don't forget, he's the VP of Alumni and Community Relations. So he's involved with pretty much everything that went on this week, and I know how hard he works, and for him to take the time to come on with us is a big thing.
Right. So
obviously, we appreciate it, and who could foresee technical problems? But
no,
he'll be on again.
Yeah, I mean, either it's his internet or it sounds like it might be his Wi-Fi because his computer kind of putzed out on him too.
Well, so rather his laptop,
right?
And then he was on his phone.
Right. So rather than sit here and tell him, we'll sit here and wait, we just said, look, don't worry about it. We'll get back with you another day, and we'll get that. We'll work that out. So, unfortunately, this video will not be as long as it normally would. But this is Stu and I's first opportunity to officially, because we've done it in little spots, but we haven't done it in a video yet. Manscaped.
Yep. Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes, absolutely. Is actually now at least for the next 3 months, a permanent official sponsor. Paid sponsor. Can you imagine that? Somebody giving me money to talk? I mean, seriously.
Well, I like how they said you exceeded expectations.
Yeah, kind of like for me how the lawnmower did.
So congrats on that.
Well, that the thing there is to thank all of you, because I know the number they told me, the number of people that had to purchase for them to maybe talk about, giving me some payment. And with a week to go, they were like, hey, dude, you've already gone past that number. So, hey, I can't thank you guys enough for that. Now, in terms of the product, because I do want to talk about this just a little bit. I know I kept saying I was going to do a review and everything like that. One thing I will mention is that when I first unboxed it and I kind of wanted to get an idea of what other people thought about it, I watched some reviews, right? Some unsponsored reviews. And I saw a few people that said things in their review, and they were giving it a negative review that undoubtedly led me to believe that they didn't ever really use the razor, because the one guy actually complained about the light. He says, and it's got this light. Why would you need a light? Well, if you use the razor for 30 seconds, you would be like, oh, you would never go back. You would never question why you would need the light. So some of the things that you might have heard in a negative light may not exactly be, up to par. You guys know, I'll be honest with you. Use the guide. Use the guard. Okay. You're not that special. It's gonna get you like any other thing. It's such a high quality piece of equipment, but you still have to use it properly, right? And Stu and I know about that kind of thing. We know about having a high quality piece of equipment that you need to use properly. So,
Yeah. So let's put it this way. If you don't use the guide, and there are two of them, got to use the one that's best for you. You're going to have some ow moments.
You have some issues.
Yeah. We don't want anybody going on injured reserve,
No, definitely not. So thank you again to everybody who's made purchases. Thank you again to Manscaped for the full sponsorship. We've got a little bit of other news since we're here and since we're trying to finish
you got to
this
use
up.
the code Flying Fly.
Oh yeah, you got to use
20% off and free shipping.
Right.
And you should go ahead and just order it.
Yeah.
And look, at the same time you're doing that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button so you don't miss any of our funny shtick that we do here. Exactly.
Now, by the end of Monday, I will actually have another video out for another sponsor. Now, this one isn't so much of a paid thing as it's actually a dog company that makes products, and they contacted me and wanted me to take a video of me using their product on Fluffy. I was going to do it today, but it's 35 and windy. So no, we're going to wait till Monday when it's 50 degrees again. So that'll be out Monday. And then last thing, this is some in-depth information, but some of you know my story in terms of when the pandemic came, I lost my Amazon business. The whole thing went to Spitz. Long story short, after 18 months of fighting with them and I had to threaten to sue them twice. I got my Amazon account reinstated. I am reapproved to sell the products that I had been selling. And the best news is that I contacted my old distributor and she's still in business. Awesome. So it's going to be a little bit slow going because I don't have a whole lot of credit to invest in merchandise, but she'll work with me. So that could be a huge monumental thing for me because I used to make really good money and then I went bankrupt. So I'm happy about that. And you all should be happy about that for two reasons. Number one, it gives you another way to support the channel because eventually I'll give you the link to the Amazon store. And it's the main thing that I sold is perfumes, fragrances for both men and women. But the second more important reason is if I'm making good money over there on Amazon, that frees up a tremendous amount of stress release for me. And if I ain't so stressed, there's more content. It's better content. Maybe we'll, get back to some funny things and everything. You know what I mean? If I can relieve some of that financial stress, this channel will significantly improve. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right.
So we got the skills competition. Eric, I think we're doing a stream tonight, huh?
Yeah. We're gonna do the stream here. We're getting ready to do that, and then we're gonna stream the game tomorrow. So we'll be around for the first Sunday in a while. I have Sunday off because there's no football.
Awesome.
So, all right. Sorry it was so short. Appreciate everybody sticking around with us. And I'm sure
Randy will be back, boys and girls.
Yeah, he will be back. At least we got the viewer questions in, so that works out. All right, everybody. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you again. I guess Tuesday night, because the game is Monday.
As they say, right? We'll see you on the flip side.